So it does appear that the walls are closing in pretty damn quickly on New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, who was falsely painted by the media as a good governor response when his state had the worst experience with COVID and largely had to do with him delaying any response for an entire week. And so now there are two scandals simultaneously right now. He's been accused of sexual harassment by two women, and another scandal on top of that scandal is he basically was trying to pick the person who investigates him instead of the Attorney General, Letitia James, basically carrying out an independent probe. So that's a whole nother scandal on top of that scandal. Now, the other scandal that's going on is the nursing home scandal, where people are saying that, he was basically taking old people out of hospitals, putting them into nursing homes, leading to mass deaths inside of nursing homes. And so the pressure is really starting to get gargantuan. So it says New York Democrats pressure Cuomo as investigation kicks off. It says State's Attorney Letitia James said Monday she had received the authorization to investigate allegations of sexual harassment leveled against the governor last week by two female former employees and to make her findings public. State legislators are equally furious at the Cuomo administration's handling of nursing home patients treated for the coronavirus in the early weeks and months of the pandemic. And a growing number of legislators and journalists have come forward to accuse Cuomo of bullying tactics, including angry tirades shouted down a phone line at all hours. In conversations with half a dozen legislators and political strategists over the weekend, most said they had received such a call. There's an ongoing pattern here of abuse of power. It's making the working relationship with the governor a real distraction from the work we have to do for the people, said Assemblyman Angelo Santabarbara. I firmly believe that the governor's resignation is for the good of the state at this point. Cuomo's office did not immediately respond to requests for comment. So a lot of people are speculating he might not run for a fourth term. I guess he's already been there for 3 terms. Well, this would be his 3rd term. His primary is in 2022, which is in a year essentially. So the question here is whether or not he's going to be forced to resign, or if they're just not going to vote for him in the, is he going to finish out his final term and then say, I'm not going to run for re-election? Is he going to be forced to resign? Because that's what it looks like to me. This is serious, guys. Hillary Clinton saying allegations against Cuomo raise serious questions, deserve probe. Obviously, Hillary Clinton is pretty big in the Democratic Party. She was also a senator, a carpetbagger senator in New York. So that also means she holds some sway in NY. Nancy Pelosi saying sexual harassment allegations against Cuomo credible. And remember, I have to explain to you guys, man, what really took down Al Franken. What took down Al Franken was Kirsten Gillibrand and all the Democrats saying, hey, you need to step down. We're done with you. That is the nail in the coffin for any politician, is once their party turns on them entirely, it's a wrap. Once your colleagues start to pressure you to resign, to step down, to be done, you are in big trouble. You are in serious trouble. And so that's what's going on here. And there's just so many scandals that are popping up on each other. There is a clear trend of abuse of power here. What he did, I believe that what he did alone with attempting to pick the person who investigates him, I think that that was scandalous enough to force him to resign. Just that alone, I think, is enough. But he's got the nursing home scandal, then he's got the sexual harassment issues. So there is a lot of stuff going on here, and I think Cuomo's going to be done. I mean, I think he's going to be forced to resign just by the sheer fact of how many major Democratic politicians are going after him. I haven't really seen anybody come to Andrew Cuomo's defense, and to me, that's really telling as to what his future is going to be. So, with that being said, man, I think Cuomo is pretty much done, honestly.